let's talk about your Jupiter placement in Gene Keys. In Gene Keys, the Jupiter placement appears in two of your spheres. Spheres are also the circles in your Gene Keys profile. So there's a natal Jupiter and a prenatal Jupiter placement. So what that means is that natal is where the planet Jupiter is, where at the moment you were born, and prenatal Jupiter placement is where the Jupiter was 3 months before you were born. And this appears in your culture sphere, which is a prenatal Jupiter placement, and your pearl sphere, which is your natal Jupiter placement. Both of these spheres are in your pearl sequence, which is where you bring your gifts out into the world to be of service to your people and prosper from being you in your version of prosperity and abundance. So today we're going to dive into the basic and the most fundamentals. The basic and most fundamentals of your Jupiter placement and what it means to you. This is just a basic introduction, keeping it simple, keeping it layman. So first, your culture sphere, which is your prenatal Jupiter placement, you can view it as your portal to prosperity, your portal to your version of abundance, of a life of fulfillment and happiness. Right? So it's a portal. You can see it as a portal and a path towards your version of prosperity. And you may, as you look at human design and Gene Keys, you may see that we talk about the unconscious or prenatal Jupiter placement, your culture sphere, as the portal to your version of prosperity, or money block, which is where the shadow shows you like how you may be blocking your path to money, and money is just one aspect of your prosperity and abundance, isn't it? Prosperity can mean a lot of things. It can mean good health, of course, wealth, happiness, having the right people around you to support your mission and purpose in this world. And so this portal, when you're in your gift, when you're so aligned in your energetics, who you're here to be, you're designed to be, living your purpose, it opens up the path to your version of prosperity. And that's where it leads you to your pearl sphere, which is your natal Jupiter placement. The words always got me thinking up. Which is your natal Jupiter placement, your pearl sequence. We have to call it like at a pearl sphere. It's like the eventual flowering, because it's like the last sphere we look at as we go through the 3 sequences and Gene Keys. It's the eventual flowering of your being, of your gifts, as you come back into alignment with who you are, as you come back to yourself. So it's like the fruit of your harvest, right? And in the pearl sphere, it shows you your version of prosperity, your version of abundance, and it differs from people to people, between you and me. I'm going to use an example next to show you like what this means, as you look at both your culture and pearl sphere together in terms of, your path to prosperity and abundance. And before I continue, all this talk about money and abundance, I find that a lot of people jump straight into this without mentioning one key aspect. This path opens up when you are being of service from your heart. And that means going through the Venus sequence to open your heart. Living with an open heart, being of service from your heart for the higher purpose, to be of service to the world, to your people. And that is where you bring out your business to be of service and get paid to be you. I mean, this term gets thrown around a lot, but it's true. You get paid to be you. When you love what you do, you serve with an open heart as you come back again and again, being more in alignment with yourself. Okay, so let's use an example to illustrate how the culture and pearl sphere, the natal and prenatal, or in human design terms, conscious and unconscious Jupiter placement can look like in your life, or in terms of how in your business, in your life, how it may be blocking prosperity to you in terms of attracting your soul family, your ideal clients, or even like coaches and mentors and healers who are here to support you on your journey to serve a higher purpose. At the end of the day. So using my own profile as an example, I have Gene Key 15 with the shadow of dullness and the gift of magnetism in my culture sphere, alright? And Gene Key 39 with the shadow of provocation and the gift of dynamism in my pearl sphere. So when we look at the shadow of the culture sphere, so with the shadow of dullness in the culture sphere, it means that what is blocking me on my path of abundance, into my path of prosperity, is when I feel dull, when I feel dullness in my life. And if you have the Gene Keys in your profile as well, look at what does dullness mean to you. So to me, it means boring. It means like there's lack of excitement, colors in my world. And when I bring awareness to that, I can see that it is preventing me from, it's my money block, even, like what we call money block. But essentially it means that I'm not living in alignment with myself to magnetize, the gift is magnetism, to magnetize my soul clients to me, my soul family to me, to attract the partnership opportunities to me that will support me in my life. So, and then when you notice the shadow showing up in your life, you can pay attention to what does the gift frequency mean to you. And the gift of, in my culture scale, which the Gene Key 15 is magnetism. And that we'll look at like what does magnetism mean to you. So look at the gift and shadow in your culture sphere and ask yourself, what does this mean to me? When you're just like, you may say that, I don't know, like you tell me what it means, but always come back to yourself. We always say that, come back to yourself, come back within you. What does this mean to you? Instead of letting others tell you and decide, because we are so used to this growing up, right? Come back to yourself, what does this mean to you? And if you say you don't know, ask yourself, if you do know, what would it mean to you? And you'll start figuring out from there. It's truly magical. It is a magical sentence that a human design consultant, Brianna Eve, actually use to actually guide us back to source the answer within ourselves. Because the truth is, we always know the answer. It's just that our mind tends to prevent us from seeing the answer in front of us because of all the fierce conditionings, right? So going back, okay, so I'll look at what does magnetism means to me, because that will open up my portal to attracting all that I need in my path to prosperity, attracting my soul clients to me, finding fulfillment in my work, and yeah, magnetism. And you know, with each Gene Key, there's like different aspect even to just the key aspect. For example, magnetism can means that, you know, having the excitement in my life, you know, doing different things, embracing the rhythms, the cycles, the ebbs and flows of my life. It can mean being inclusive. And another one recently that I realized what it means to me is the polarity. You know, like being in my gift, in my what we call the zone of genius, actually create a polarizing effect to attract my clients to me. You know, that's what attraction means, right? This is something that my business mentor recently brought up, like creating that magnetizing effect, the polarizing effect, so that you magnetize, attract your clients who desire that to you, right? So that is something to consider. And moving on, after you open up the portal to your abundance and prosperity, attracting the right opportunities to you, your pearl sphere opens up, your gifts open up, right? And at the pearl sphere, we can use it as a measurement of the frequency we're operating at across our profile, because the different spheres in our profile, they are all interlinked. So you can look at, so if let's say you see the shadow frequency showing up, it means that you're operating at a lower frequency at that point in time, right? The gifts and city, they're always in you already. They're all found in the shadow. Anyway, so if you see a shadow showing up, you can see that, okay, you're not operating in alignment. How can you look deeper within the shadow, not avoiding looking deeper within the shadow to see what's the meaning of the story playing out? What is happening in your life? What is that gift that can be found, the treasure, the gold that can be found in that struggle, that hardship, the challenge that you're going through? And you know, with mine, Gene Key 39, the shadow of provocation, it means that either I trigger others easily or I'm easily triggered. So you know, like in the past, before all my awakening, my rebirth, you know, I have been pushing people's button. Of course, unconsciously, I'm pushing people's button, triggering them, having that bad temper, being self-centered. And then, you know, after my awakening, as I go through this deeper work, my shadow work, that inner work, I start to transcend and find the gift of dynamism within the shadow of provocation. And at the gift level of dynamism, that you know, the frequency, in the shadow frequency where I have been pushing buttons, like, you know, unconsciously, at the dynamism gift level, I trigger others as well, but in a good way. I trigger others to see the shadows within them, to push them towards their higher purpose, to push them to awaken to the shadows, the stories, the conditionings, the fears and doubts that they have probably been unaware of before that. And this dynamism is like this childlike energy, you know, a child that couldn't stop playing. And this dynamism energy is something that, you know, can unblock a previously like block aspect in someone's life, of business. So when I see that, I can leverage that gift to actually easily spot, you know, in my client's business, what is that one shift, one thing that they need to shift or change to unblock a certain part of their business, probably a client's experience, or something in their offers that, you know, they might previously have been afraid to step into their light, to step into their power and share it out, right? So that's an example. So, you know, when you're in the pearl sphere, living in your gift frequency, that is when you're actually living in alignment. And you know, in Gene Keys, this we call it a hologenetic profile, right? It means that each sphere affect the other, they ripple out because your energy just affect each other. And at the pearl sphere, whether you're in the gift frequency or shadow frequency, it's showing you like all your whole energetic being, essentially, like the energetic frequency you're living at. And whether you're flowering or are you in that shadow, I would like to say, like, trying to find more gifts, deepening within yourself to bring out more of your gift in your evolution process, in your growth process. And that is just the basic introduction of your Jupiter placements in Gene Keys, both the natal, conscious, and the prenatal, unconscious aspects. And there's more to talk about, but I'll probably separate them out in a different training. And that's the end of today's training. I hope you learn more about your Jupiter placement. And I would love to know in the comments, what do you have in your culture sphere and pearl sphere? In human design, it's your conscious and unconscious Jupiter placement. Let me know in the comments and how you see it, you know, as showing you your path and portal to your version of prosperity. And I will see you in the next live, next training, and around Instagram. Come and chat with me. I love to chat with all of you and connect with all of you at a deeper level. See you.